Do not let fear extinguish your dreams. Do not let fear keep you from moving forward. If things happened to you in the past that tortured you or made you feel some kind of way or set you back, then you being on the other side of that shows that you can get on the other side. Now, you may not be all that you think you're supposed to be. You may not be where you think you're trying to go. You may not have made all the money or accomplished all the goals, but you made it. And that's what's important. So I want you to remember that if you can look up, you can get up. Do not let fear extinguish your dreams. Do you know how many people are in the grave with great, great dreams, thoughts, ideas, $1 million businesses? Everybody has a gift. Everybody has at least one witty invention. My big sister, Dr. Vicki Johnson, always says, so there is something in you. Do not let fear stop you from doing it. When I quit my job at one of the world's largest financial institutions, I was scared, but I went anyway. On a Monday, I said, I don't want to be here. On a Wednesday, I said, I'm not going to be here. And on a Friday, I was not there. Okay. So I just stepped out on faith, and I went through a rough time. I went through a rough season, but I got through it. I made it to the other side, and so can you. I don't want you to let fear extinguish your dreams. And if fear is extinguishing anything in your life, then I want you to become like water. You see, my sister and business partner and friend, MC Light, she says that she's unstoppable, and she likens herself to water. You see, water takes over. Water will get through, it will get over, it will get under, it will come around, it will permeate. Water is going to be there. There's nothing you can do with water. When water decides to come, there's nothing that can stop it. There is no barrier that can stop it. So you have to be like water. In the beginning, when God created the earth, he had to separate the water. He had to separate the water in the sky from the water down here. And guess what? Now we have this world. It was not immaculate conception. It was not some kind of scientific thing that, but God created it, and he started out with water. So I want you to become unstoppable, and I don't want you to let fear be the thing that will keep you broke. Okay, so fear, we don't want that. The next F that will keep you broke, these are more F's that'll keep you broke. The next F that'll keep you broke is faking, trying to fake it. Okay, you cannot fake your emotions. You cannot fake your money. You cannot fake. Be who you are. Stop trying to be somebody else. You'll never win that game. The best person that you can be is you. When I first started speaking publicly about finances and came into the entertainment side of things, in the beginning, some of my business partners didn't want me to be frank. They wanted me to kind of tone it down a little bit so I wouldn't scare people. Let me tell you something. If I can't be me, then I cannot be free, and neither can you. So stop faking it. Stop spending money that you don't have to impress people. Rich people stay rich because they act poor, and poor people stay poor because they act rich. And poor people stay poor acting rich in front of other poor people, which is real crazy. You don't want to do that. Stop faking. Be okay to say, no, I can't do this. No, it's not in my budget. No, it's not safe. You know how many people are inviting me to all kind of things? People want me to come to their house for this. They want to have cocktails for that. Let me tell you something. We're going to have cocktails over Zoom. We're going to meet over Zoom. We're going to celebrate over Zoom or FaceTime or whatever it is that we're doing. But I am not coming. You cannot fake it. You cannot be so afraid of what people are going to think about you that you do not stand up for who you are. So don't fake it. Faking doesn't get you anywhere. Now, act the way you want to be. So if you want to be great, act great. If you want to be financially free, then start spending less money than you make. If you want to become a motivational speaker or a writer or a teacher or whatever, act the way you want to be. And sooner or later, you will be the way you act, but don't fake it. You see, acting the way you want to be means you're putting in the work, you're putting in the time, you're putting in the grind, you're making a sacrifice, but faking it isn't going to get you anywhere. That's why I don't have a whole lot of people, people talking about friends. Everybody's not your friend. And if you're not my friend, if I'm not yours, we're not faking it. If you see me and I know you don't like me and you try to pretend like we so good, I'm going to be polite and say hi, but I'm not faking it with you. I'm not faking it. And you have to stop faking it. Are you faking it for your significant other? Are you faking it for your kids? Are you faking it for all of your old friends? Are you faking it because you're a member of a sorority or you're a member of some club and everything's supposed to be? Let me tell you something. I defied all of that. I'm not faking it for my kids. I remember my youngest daughter, she had a habit of forgetting her lunch. And so I'd be home tired from traveling, and then she want to call me talking about she left her lunch. I went, took that lunch one time. The next day she called and said she left her lunch. I said, I guess you're going to be hungry. She never left her lunch again. You see, sometimes we don't want to do things, but we fake it because we just don't want people to think that it's something else. Yes, I'm tired, and yes, I'm going to stay at home, and I know it's only 5 minutes away, but I'm not coming. I need you to be responsible. So stop faking it, because when you fake it, you do not hold other people accountable. When you fake it, people cannot rise up to their next level. When you fake it, then basically you're showing up in the world as a lie. Okay, so you want to tell the truth. Now, the next F, these are more F's that'll keep you broke. The next F that'll keep you broke is fault. Always finding fault with everybody else and not yourself. This didn't work out, it was their fault. You didn't make this, that was their fault. Something else didn't happen, that was their fault. It wasn't until I took responsibility for my own situation that I was able to stop living check to Monday. I was broke as all get out, and I was blaming everybody else. I was giving them the money and then blaming them because they didn't do what I wanted them to do. No. You've got to take responsibility for everything that happens to you. Life is 10% what happens to you and 90% how you respond. Yes, they did it, but what is your reaction? Yes, they may have done it, but what did you put in it? See, some of the people who have done you wrong, you knew that they weren't right. You knew they were rotten. You knew that they weren't, but you wanted something out of it, so you kind of stuck in there with it. That's your fault. So stop finding fault. Ask God always this. Whenever I have a situation and it didn't work out the way I wanted to, I always say this: God, teach me the lesson so I can get the blessing. You see, if you learn the lesson, and the lesson is, I should have set boundaries. The lesson is, I shouldn't have been so desperate. The lesson is, I should have told the truth. The lesson is, I should have been very clear. The lesson is, I should have cut it off in the beginning when I saw that it wasn't going to work out. So stop finding fault. Everybody, let me tell you, some people are in your life just to see how strong you are. There are things that are in your way. There are roadblocks right now in your path, and they're there just to see if you're going to do something about it. Are you going to rise to the occasion? Are you going to jump over that hurdle? Or are you going to continue to sit and whine and just, kind of not do anything and stay behind that hurdle? That's the reason why a lot of people don't reach their goals. Because if everybody could reach their goals, everybody would. But the reason why goals aren't reached, because you got to prove that you can handle the goal when you get it. And the only way to prove that you can handle the goal when you get it is to overcome the stuff that's blocking you from it. I used to think that the more successful I got, that the easier life would get easier. Let me tell you, that was a rude awakening. What I realized is, the more successful I got, the more problems I had to solve. The more successful I got, the more things became unclear. Now, I became clear, but there were new things. They say new levels, new devils. And let me tell you something, Ephesians 6, it says that we are not in a battle against each other. We are not in a battle against flesh and blood. We are in a battle against principalities in high places. So the higher you go, the more stuff you're going to have to deal with. That's why you got to get through those things. That's why you got to knock down that little roadblock. That's why you got to knock down that fear. That's why you got to knock down that thing that's stopping you. Knock it down. Because once you knock it down, you build up your muscle. Okay?